can't stop. A family shop. Think Thayer. Come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
Hello, welcome to Falcon Weekly here on BGSUFalcons.com. I'm Evan Pivnik, joined by the head coach of the Bowling Green Falcons, Chris Bergeron. And Coach, first, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, split this past weekend, Friday night a loss, but the team was able to rebound Saturday night against Bemidji State with a nice win there. What did you like from the weekend? What did you not like?
Well, I didn't like our overall play first game of the series. I didn't think we were as engaged physically, in particular, as a team that's kind of fighting like we are fighting against the team that's ahead of us. And you know, I think with the way the series set up, I didn't like the way we showed up the first night. We didn't give ourselves much of a chance. Nell kept us in the game for sure, which I liked. But ultimately, we found ourselves Friday morning trying to figure out what happened Thursday night. So when we went back to the drawing board, we talked about all the same things: needing more guys involved, needing to play at the level that we've set for ourselves. Made a few changes to the lineup, but really nothing out of the ordinary. And I think with the exception of the first 18 minutes of the game, I thought we played better. The way the first little bit looked, down 2-0, getting close to the end of the first period, it didn't look good again, and there was no real energy in our building. The energy on our bench was good, and the talk was good. Excuse me, but we just weren't able to get much going, and we found a way to stay engaged and stay into it, even though we were down a couple goals, and score late in the first period, which ultimately I think carried us over for the next two periods. I liked the way we played periods 2 and 3 the second night. I liked the way we played period 3 the first night. That's inconsistency, Evan. But you asked me what I liked. That's what I liked. I thought there was some stretches there we played really well, and then ultimately I liked the result. I liked the fact we were able to rebound and respond from a loss and get the win and get the split on the weekend.
You mentioned Nell. He played Friday night. Ryan Bednard played Saturday night. And it's been kind of the theme over the past few weeks where Nell will play Friday night. The team won't really play that well in front of him. And then Saturday night, Ryan Bednard gets a start, and the team seems to play a little bit better. It has to be a little frustrating for Nell, knowing the results. He's making the saves, but the results aren't there.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. I mean, the only game that I think Chris would like to have back was the Fairbanks game up there, the Friday night. We didn't give him much support with only scoring one, but their three weren't pucks that normally go in on Chris. So other than that, I think his last 4 or 5 starts have been pretty solid. In particular, this past one. I mean, it was a solid effort. It was a solid start. He only gave up 2 goals, and they were early. He made some really good saves for us, for sure. That seems the way it plays out a little bit. I mean, you look back to his freshman year, and he was almost on the opposite end, where Tommy Burke was playing a bunch on Friday nights, and Chris was playing Saturday behind a team that was playing better, and his numbers, especially the first half of the year, showed that. So that happens in sports. I think it probably happens in goaltending a bunch. Hopefully Chris can just stay focused on his game and his process, and continue to play better, and realize that the results will come if he's staying at the level he's at right now.
And the difference on Friday night was a power play goal against the special teams wise. What'd you like from this weekend? I mean, you got to enjoy scoring a couple power play goals on a team that came into this weekend at 91%.
Yeah, that's what I liked the most. We scored a power play goal both nights. I mean, I didn't like the fact that we gave up a power play goal both nights, and so really looking at the weekend, you like the way the power play played, and you need your penalty kills to play better.
Brett DeAndre over the past month and a half or so has been a top player for Bowling Green, and really hasn't really been too talked about. I mean, multi-point game the other night. What have you liked from him over the past couple of months?
Well, I like his first of all his continue to work mindset, his resiliency. His first 2 years were not the way he scripted them. They were not the way we scripted them in terms of his impact in our lineup, probably in terms of his games played and so on. But he comes into his junior year. We lose a player early in the year on our roster. That opens up opportunity for everybody on the roster, and he's one of those guys that seems to take advantage of it. We always felt like his hockey mind and his puck skills have been really good. It's been a little bit of a competition thing, or a half a step here, a half a step there. And this year he seems to be playing the game fast. He's taking advantage of opportunities, not only 5-on-5, but on both sides of the special teams, more so the power play, but the times he's been asked and called upon to kill penalties, he's done a nice job. So I just think he stuck with it and stayed kind of sort of confident in a situation where there's not a whole lot to be confident about because he hadn't been playing. And this year, he's got every reason and right to be confident about the way he's played, and he's earned it. And he's not a guy that's been handed anything. And it's always nice to have stories like that when people just persevere and play through it and find a way to earn what they want.
We got to talk about Mitch McLain here, as he picked up 2 goals on the weekend again, and he just seems to find it, just have it this year. Yeah. You know, something pucks find him and they're able to go in.
Yeah, I mean I think that, well, both goals. The first night, the goal kind of hits him up or around his shoulder pads, head area, bounces down, he shoots it in, and the second night, it's an empty netter. He's earned everything he's gotten. This isn't by fluke or by accident. He's a guy that's worked really hard, and as you say, this year, pucks are finding him, and when they find him, he knows what to do with it, so it's good for us.
Now going into this weekend, a tough matchup on the road against Minnesota State, a team that Bowling Green has seen a lot of over your time here. Mm-hmm. What's the mindset going into this weekend, knowing it's only one of 2 road series the Falcons have?
I hope our mindset is we need to go and give ourselves 2 really good opportunities to win games, meaning the process is right, meaning everybody's engaged both mentally and physically. There's no really other mindset at this point. We have to leave the standings and the results at the door and let our process and let our intensity and our engagement take care of the results. And we have to know that this team is not going to look at our results or not going to look at our play or not going to look at anything outside of the fact that they're playing Bowling Green and they believe that Bowling Green is a good team and a hard team to play against. They're going to be ready, is my point. Their year seems to be a little bit up and down, looking at their record and looking at some of the games they've had, but that doesn't mean that's what it's been. I don't know. I do believe in their team. I do believe that this is going to be a very difficult series, and our guys need to make sure we're ready for that. Just in terms of our mindset going in, we're a team that can compete with anybody, anywhere, if we're doing things the way we're capable of doing them to the level that we've set for ourselves. And that has to be our mindset, that we need to play to that level.
What do you like from the Minnesota State team?
I like the fact that they play the game the right way. They play the game the way we want to play it. North, fast, a skilled game. But they'll compete you for it. And they'll fight all over the ice. They defend hard. Their top forwards are really good. Their top D are guys that get the job done. I mean, there's lots to like. I would think, or I would say on paper, the only thing that's a little bit up in the air is who their goalie is night in and night out, but they've got proven guys there, and it's just a matter of who they go to. So lots to like about this team.
Well, Friday and Saturday night, the Falcons are on the road in Mankato against Minnesota State. 8:07 p.m. starts both Friday and Saturday. Coach, appreciate the time and best luck this weekend.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.